Assalamu alaikum everyone. Hope so you are fit and fine. Today we will hear BBC FM radio for improving our speaking skills and especially listening skills. So let's enjoy BBC FM radio.
Opinion is against the use of private jets in the way that you have outlined yourself, that it's an increasing market and that the public don't think that this is a good way to go, that this is something that perhaps should not exist at all.
Well, I think you have to look at all the advantages that come in with the private jet industry. When you look at the efficiencies of a private jet, what it can enable people to do all around the world, whether it's football stars or whether it's business people or whether it's governments, etc., the ability to connect people and to be able to get things done, whether it's about evolution of sustainable aviation fuel, for example, or getting together from an economic perspective, or even looking at peace treaties between countries. These types of things are done in person. This isn't always about champagne and strawberries. This is about connectivity all around the world, and we feel there's an important place for this today and in the future.
Let me put a question to you then about connectivity in the context of what we've seen most recently. Would you think that it was necessary for the British Prime Minister to fly from London to Blackpool in a 14-seat RAF jet? It's a 230-mile journey that would have taken him about 3 hours by train.
I can't look at what the Prime Minister's diary is for that day and how much he needed to do those movements, for example. So it's very difficult for me to really give you any sort of colour on exactly what was going on in that day, to be honest with you.
Sure, okay, I understand that you don't want to be drawn on that, but you see my point, that on the one hand, a Prime Minister of a government that says that they want to meet particular carbon emission targets is kind of the same as somebody like you who charters private jets, who's saying, well, we're doing all these other things, and so actually having private jets is a perfectly okay thing to have.
I think it all comes down to why you're using that private jet and what the individual circumstances are. And I think, again, we're not just talking about doing short hops around a country. We're talking about connecting continents here as well and doing it in the most efficient way possible. So our wider industry is looking to be carbon neutral by 2050. Our company has made the commitment that we're going to do so by 2025. And that's going to be our focus, and that's all we can focus on, really.
So 2025, carbon neutral in 2 years?
Correct.
How are you going to do that?
Combination of carbon offsetting, of using SAF, using technology to drive our efficiency between our customer base. We're also incentivizing our customer base to be efficient.
On the issue of carbon offsetting, there has been widespread criticism of this notion. A report by the bank Credit Suisse said that carbon markets were a wild west, a self-regulated market with poor transparency. That doesn't seem very reassuring, especially if you're talking about a target in 2 years' time.
Understood, but I think that's a very broad brush to put the entire market under there. I think from our perspective, we're making sure that whatever we're doing, we're being audited by third-party experts in the field. So, we feel that we're doing what we can. We can always do more, and that's why we're continually evolving every single day to be able to meet this challenge. It's an important challenge for our industry and the world. We understand that.
That was Ian Moore. He is the Chief Commercial Officer at VistaJet. It's a leading provider of private jets. Do tell us what you think about what you hear on our programme. At BBC World Service is the network's Twitter handle. At Razia Iqbal is mine if you'd like to speak to me directly. You're listening to the BBC World Service. This is NewsHour. Now let's look at what else you can hear from the BBC World Service. In 10 minutes, today's guest on Hard Talk is the former Hungarian Member of Parliament, Zsuzsana Szelenyi.
Fidesz and Orbán claims that this is a democratic party and Hungary is a democratic country because there are elections. But the question is whether this is enough for democracy.
At bbcworldservice.com, the climate question asks how India is doing in the fight against climate change.
With 7,500-kilometer long coastline, about 50% of people directly or indirectly depending on agriculture, and a majority of economic sectors are very climate sensitive. It happens to be very vulnerable to climate impacts.
And Crowd Science is investigating noise. For some people, being in a loud, busy bar with lots going on is really stimulating and they kind of almost need that. And for other people, that would be completely overwhelming. Hear more at bbcworldservice.com. Now it's back to Razia Iqbal and NewsHour. And a reminder of our top story this hour. Turkey says there has been a second big earthquake in the south of the country, hours after a huge quake caused devastation there and across the border. More than 2,000 people are now known to have died. Let's hear from Ibrahim Ozer, Director General responsible for disaster management and climate change at the Turkish Red Crescent. He told this programme the death toll would almost certainly rise.
The number can be increased because there's another aftershock about 10 minutes ago that affected a couple of other damaged buildings to collapse completely. So we were not sure if there was any people underneath, but I'm pretty sure that because of that kind of damages, probably the casualties are just going to go up.
One other headline, Human Rights Watch has warned that fighting in eastern Congo is causing a dangerous escalation of tension between ethnic Tutsis and Hutus. This is Razia Iqbal with NewsHour live from the BBC in London. Let's turn away from the earthquake for a moment now. The French Revolution has given France a political system, flag and national anthem that most French people now accept without thinking much about it. But not in the west of France, in the Vendée in particular, where the memory remains strong of the approximately 200,000 people killed for standing up to the revolution. Now a new film celebrating the leader of the Vendée rebellion is stoking controversy about this episode in French history. This report from John Lawrenson starts at a cinema in Versailles, of course the former seat of the French monarchy.
A crowd files into the cinema to see Vanquish or Die, the motto of Charette, the young nobleman who peasants went to get out of his chateau in 1793 to lead their fight against a revolution that had killed their king and queen and threatened to destroy their religion. Charette's pitchfork army won some victories before meeting defeat at the hands of the Republic's forces that was followed up with a spree of burning, rape and murder in which some 40,000 civilians were massacred. It was a dark hour for a revolution carried out in the name of the rights of man, and people here say telling this story in cinemas is long overdue.
Oui, je crois que c'est important pour démythologiser la révolution.
I think it's important to debunk the myth of the revolution. Yes, the French people wanted change, but not to have their history and their culture snatched away from them.
Leur culture, non.
C'est notre histoire. It's our history that's been hidden. Let's be clear about that. Not mentioned in school books.
L'histoire s'est construite en vie. The history of France, of the French Republic, has been built on these massacres. Don't forget, the national anthem, the Marseillaise, is a call to massacre.
Which may sound like an extreme interpretation, but the last words the football fans sing in the stadiums are, "Let impure blood quench the thirst of the furrows of our fields." Is the first produced by the phenomenally successful historical theme park Le Puy du Fou, which is situated in Vendée, 3 hours west of Paris, where 2 million people come every year to see its spectacular shows built around moments in local and French history. Vanquish or Die is based on a Puy du Fou show, and some of the scenes are shot in its decor. The park was created by the politician Philippe de Villiers, who is an out and proud Catholic and conservative, and a bit of a royalist to boot, which may explain the very hostile reaction to the film from some critics. Puy du Fourbe headlined the left-wing daily Libération. A fourbe is a liar. Not true, says Nicolas de Villiers, Philippe de Villiers' son, who now runs the theme park and who co-wrote the film's screenplay.
At the end of the reading of this article in Libération, you will see that they just criticized some details of the storytelling, but not the facts themselves, because the truth is that there were some massacres here in the west of Vendée. It's a true story, and Charette did exist, and the peasants and this Catholic army did exist, and no historians can contest it.
Libération declined to comment, but back in that packed cinema in Versailles, They're loving it. At the end, they even applaud. This is not the US. People don't applaud films in France. Highly unusual.
John Lawrenson reporting. Let's end our programme today by going back to the beginning. The huge rescue operation that's underway across much of southern Turkey and northwestern Syria, which has borne the brunt of two powerful earthquakes which have levelled thousands of buildings. The death toll, as we know now, is rising. Thousands are reported injured. Many of the dead are in war-torn northern Syria, with dozens of fatalities.
Okay, so that's all about today's BBC FM radio. Let's say next day, same time, we will again hear BBC FM radio. That's all about. Allah Hafiz and Assalamu alaikum.